Welcome back. Today we're going to be putting together a 13-foot Boston whaler. We're going to cut this video into 5 different parts and we're going to show you step by step what we do here so it's easy to understand.
So in the last video we showed you how to put on a rub rail, and then in this video
we're going to show you how to mount your outboard. Let's get into it.
What you'll need to mount your engine is you'll need a bolt, a fender washer, a smaller washer. In this case, we're using a nylock nut. However many you'll need is dependent on what type of outboard you have. For example, a tiller drive will need 2 typically, and then a wheel drive will need 4. So in this case, we're going to be using 4 of these. So another thing that you'll need is you'll need a ratchet and a wrench to help tighten down your bolt and nut. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to pick this engine up and then set it on top.
Another fun fact is when you just put the 20 horsepower Suzuki's on the stern, since we leave our boats in the water, the end of the skeg sits in the water and then it causes growth. It's even worse if it has a prop guard. So what we've decided to do is to put a block. It's like a 2x2 inch block, you know? So that way it raises the outboard off. It just makes it a little bit harder to mount, and it's preferably why you have 3 people here to mount this type of outboard if you're putting a block, because that way one person can hold it, the other person can get the block in, and then the other person can like drill your holes. Or if your outboard has a lifting point, some of these outboards you can like hook on, you can hook like a soft shackle or something, and you could be able to lift it with an engine hoist. There also are harnesses you can buy for these types of outboards as well that would help you lift the outboard, and so like we could put it on that and then lift it with the harness. Boom, the block. So the block is going to go here, the outboard is going to sit on top of the block, which will allow it to sit higher and sit out of the water. Back. Ready, 3, 2, 1. Useful? Awesome. Do we need to show this drilling?
So what we're going to be doing is drilling from the back to the front.
The problem is that this bit isn't long enough, so we're bumping into the outboard as we're trying to drill from the back to the front. I mean, you could try to drill from the front to the back, but then you're basically like
Guessing.
You're guessing. So
what I'm going to do here is, since we drilled 1 hole through, we want to get like a secure point on from the boat to the engine. So I'm just going to put this bolt through and then put the nut on the and the washer on the other side.
So I went to Home Depot, we got the proper bit.
Longer bit, so we could actually reach.
Yeah, so the problem was basically that the drill gets too close to the outboard, so you can't actually drill forward. So instead, we just got a longer bit.
More specifically, it gets too close to the bolts that hold the hydraulics in. So we can't.
Ready?
Ready.
Wow, look, that was so easy. Done. Ta-da.
One thing you also need is 4200 or some sort of sealant to seal these holes to prevent water from getting inside of your hole.
So you're going to take your fender washers, you're going to put the 4200 on the back, and this just helps give a better seal since it helps seal out any water. If you want, you can also like find the hole, and you can also put like some in the hole if you'd like to. You don't have to. And then once you're done using your 4200, we like to put ours in the freezer, and then we just pull it out of the freezer whenever we decide to use it again. So yeah. So in this case, Ours are already set up. You're gonna have to install your steering and shift, or not your steering, but your shift and throttle cables. So you'll have to take off this side cowling and then install them into there.
Now you do your side and I'll do my side. And then the last thing you want to do is you want to go around all of the bolts and make sure they're all nice and tight. And the last thing that we're going to do is we're going to take out this block. So you can take these off because you don't need these anymore to hold the engine in place, because the bolts will do that by themselves. And then we're going to take out this block, and it should just come out. Oh, there we go. As you can see, it's pretty secure on there. It's not coming off. So I hope you guys liked the video. If you liked the video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you like our content, consider subscribing.